You know how people say one little moment can ruin your whole future? Well, let me tell you, sometimes it only takes a slap, just one, fueled by pride, by the wrong kind of confidence, and in that split second, everything you thought you'd earned slips right through your fingers. I saw it with my own eyes, and I'm never going to forget the sound it made echoing across that marble floor, louder than any argument, heavier than any secret. I mean, imagine walking into a mansion thinking you're about to become the queen of the world, and in less than an hour, you become the punchline of your own tragedy. Yeah, that happened. Vanessa was dressed for victory that day. You could tell by the way her Louis Vuitton heels struck the marble like a drumbeat, each step rehearsed, a soundtrack to her coronation into the Okoro family billionaire territory, old money, gold everywhere. She'd worked 8 months for this, every coffee date, and every perfect selfie a rung on her ladder. The house itself, man, it looked like something out of a dream. Chandeliers, spitting rainbows, silk wallpaper, rugs that could feed a village. Her phone buzzed again, another congrats on Instagram. She ignored it. Today wasn't about social media. It was about legacy. What she didn't know was Derek, her fiancé, was watching the whole thing from a suite at the Eco Hotel, security cameras rolling. Yeah, that's how billionaires do it. And it was his mom's idea. Mama Okoro, old school, real tough, someone who built her life on struggle and grit, not hashtags. She wanted to see if Vanessa was the kind of woman who could respect people, not just cash. Because you can teach someone how to talk at a dinner party, but you can't teach empathy if it isn't already there. The house was too quiet, which should have been a red flag. No servants, no welcoming committee, just the drip, drip, drip of water somewhere deep inside. And then the sound of scrubbing, methodical, almost meditative. Vanessa followed it, heels clicking like she was about to host her own parade, but all she found was this old woman in a faded uniform, knees on the ground, hands moving with the kind of experience money can't buy. She didn't even look up. Not once. 3 miles away, Derek watched the scene unfold, feeling a weird mix of dread and hope. His mother's test was beginning. Vanessa cleared her throw, nothing. Cleared it again, sharper this time. Finally, the old woman looked up, calm as ever, voice steady as a church bell. "Good afternoon, miss." That's it. No fear, no bowing and scraping, just polite acknowledgement. Vanessa's spine straightened. She was used to being recognized, adored, feared, whatever, especially now with that rock on her finger. But this lady wasn't playing along, and you could feel the tension build, thick as the heat before a storm. "You will address me as ma'am," Vanessa snapped, voice like broken glass. The woman just nodded, no apology, no "yes, ma'am," just a simple, "I understand, Miss Okafor." The restraint in her voice was chilling, almost like she was observing, not obeying. That made Vanessa's blood boil. I mean, you ever see someone's face when they feel invisible? Vanessa hated that look. She'd spent her life climbing over people who ignored her, and now here was this old woman daring to do the same. Right in the house she thought she'd soon command. That's when it happened. Rage, entitlement, whatever you want to call it, built up until her hand just flew. The slap sounded like a gunshot. Derek's coffee hit the floor. The old woman's head snapped to the side, but when she looked back, her eyes were steady, almost pitying. No tears, no yelling, just an eerie calm. She touched her cheek, looked at Vanessa, and said softly, "I see." 2 words, but they might as well have been a curse. Vanessa's satisfaction evaporated in an instant, replaced by this icy fear, the sense she'd just triggered something irreversible. The old woman walked away, slow and purposeful, no sign of pain, just a dignity that filled the whole foyer like a warning. Vanessa stood alone, suddenly aware of every camera, every silent shadow, every polished surface reflecting a version of herself she didn't recognize. She wandered the hall, trying to shake the feeling, but the mansion seemed to shrink around her, closing in. Staff whispered in corners, eyes wide with shock. She saw a newspaper Derek at a gala, and there, beside him, the woman she'd just struck, dressed in the finest lace and jewels. The caption, "Derek Okoro with his mother, philanthropist Mama Adani Okoro." Vanessa's knees nearly buckled. It all clicked: the test, the cameras, the chill in the air. Mama Okoro wasn't just anybody. She was the matriarch, the real queen, the one person who could open or slam the doors of this world in Vanessa's face. Upstairs, the old woman was gone, replaced by a regal figure in traditional attire, moving through the house like she'd built every inch of it. She paused at each portrait, generations of Okuros looking down, eyes full of expectation and judgment. Staff members gathered, their faces a blend of awe and condemnation. Then came the sound of car doors, laughter, Derek's voice echoing. "Mama, I'm home." He stepped inside, smiling, then froze at the sight of his mother, resplendent, no longer hiding behind a faded uniform. His eyes met Vanessa's, and in that second, you could see the past 8 months crumble. His mother's voice carried across the marble, calm but loaded. "We had a very enlightening conversation." Derek demanded answers. Mama Okoro told him, right there in front of family, staff, everyone. She struck me because I didn't show her enough deference. Derek's face turned to stone. He replayed the footage on his phone, timestamps matching perfectly. The silence was suffocating. Vanessa stammered, "I didn't know. I thought she was—" "But how do you finish that?" "You can't. Because no one cares about your intentions when your actions reveal the truth." The family gathered round, their disappointment a weight heavier than any punishment. Aunt Chioma's words cut the deepest. "Child, you can't learn to have a soul you were born without." Derek removed her photo from his phone, took off the ring, his love curdling into something unrecognizable. "The woman I fell in love with never existed," he said. Uncle Emma stepped forward, matter of fact. "I suggest you leave quietly, or the footage goes public." "No threats, just business." Vanessa stumbled out, the doors closing behind her with the finality of a verdict. The Bentley's engine hummed, but this time it sounded like a dirge, not a victory. Through the rear view, she watched the mansion shrink, her golden ticket gone. Inside, the Okoros gathered, united, stronger for having seen her true face. Mama Okoro touched her cheek, not in pain, but in victory. And here's the thing, this wasn't just a story about money or power. It was about character. Mama Okoro built her empire scrubbing floors, not by trampling over people. She remembered where she came from and wanted to make sure anyone joining her family respected that journey. Her test saved her son, her legacy, her peace. So, let me ask you, if you were given everything you ever wanted, would you risk it all for one moment of pride? How do you treat people when you think no one important is watching? What's your reaction when power feels just out of reach? Do you strike, or do you show grace? If this story got you thinking, share your thoughts below. What would you have done? Where do you stand on respect, justice, second chances? Because in the end, the world's always watching, even if it's just one old woman with a lifetime of wisdom in her eyes.